Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So in today's video, we're going to tackle on some of the optional super bosses in the Complex Dream, aka AE Chrono crossover. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So this boss is only unlocked once you've played through it at least once. I'm not sure if it's any difficulty, but this is my second playthrough. I'm just trying to re-explore things. And when you get to another Barakai in Chapter 2, you'll have a meetup with Vario, which is the Black Cat, and he'll lead you to that area there, which is, warps over to another space-time rift. So until you unlock it that way, you cannot warp here. And in the future, if you want to tackle it again, you do have to enter through another Barakai and walk it out. Now, to unlock that cutscene, not only do you have to have played it at least one time through, I believe in the very beginning, when you're as a cat, you do have to fully explore that area before you even start Chapter 1. So be aware, and with the prologue, make sure you fully explore that with the cat in order to trigger this particular event. Now, that being said, once you finish the event, the cat disappears, and you'll get credit for that, and you'll get to here. And this silly little goblin tells you to run around 3 times, and I'm going to tell you, this was really, really frustrating. I think I took over 20 minutes to get the 3 times clockwise correctly. I'm not really sure how to do it. I filmed it, and I actually cut a few of my longer attempts out. All I know is that once you do it 3 times without stopping, so you're really trying to use your fingers and move around really, really quickly, you'll have a sound trigger, almost like a bell ring, which case you will have completed all 3 rounds. And then when you hear that, talk to the guy right away. Because what I did is, I had triggered the sound, and it did not talk. I didn't talk to the goblin right away, and actually, it didn't give me credit for that. So it's actually, this is my 3rd time around to trigger that sound. Now, that being said, after all the hard work, you finally do get to take on the first of 2 super bosses, and the first one is going to be the Dragon God. So you'll recognize this from, I believe, Chapter 2 of the main quest. I'm going with an all-out magic team. This is a similar team that I used to beat the Chapter 3 Master difficulty. So if you watch that video, you'll know what I'm using here. Now, this boss is guard and null damage to all elements except for crystal. And so in which case, we really only have 1 crystal unit. In my case, we have Clark AS. Now, in terms of other crystal units, you do have Melissa. You also have Mystere. And finally, you can equip Crystal Grasta or elements on the new collab characters to help with that. But in this case, I'm using a full magic team, and by doing that, we were able to bring it essentially to the HP stopper, which is a 50% chance. And here I am re-establishing zone on turn 2 after the first AF. So the AF is really just to boost everyone. We're using Myris AS for her speed, int. We also use Inferno from Garyu to boost the staff damage for 50%, and then we do have Days Array from AS Rosetta up front to apply 50% type resistance, which will help all elemental damage, including crystal damage. After that, it's only a matter of VCing AS Chio to establish Magic Zone, casting Horai Jewel, which is preemptive, mind you, sets pain and poison, and increases mental focus depending on the amount of maxed MP on your team. And with 1 blast of the Magmar, crystal attack, and a bunch of Grasta on this 255 AS Clark, I was able to defeat the boss. Of course, if you don't have max light or shadow on AS Clark, you will have to potentially try a few different ways. I'm not sure if this boss does additional attacks. You can see that the AoEs are quite significant, and so you do have to mitigate the damage if possible with power and int dual debuffs. In this case, I just went an all-out attack, and this one was relatively straightforward if you can do enough damage that way. In the future, I might try other teams, but I decided to just go try to beat this first and then finish the story, because we have to play that many, many times before getting all the rewards. So I might come back to this in the future. Now this second fight, Lynx, is a little bit more difficult. Keep in mind, note that because we are still in the complex dream collab, we do get the effect of the field effect. And remember, if you fill up all the circles, each of the circles represents 70% extra damage for those elements. And so you really want to concentrate on having a full elemental team. And in this case, 3 circles are filled, 210 extra % for all fire attacks. We are using, of course, Surge, as well as Rosetta with Manifest, Fire Zone Grasso, which is from the boss Battle Simulator level 7, and of course Aldo Maxed Light, as well as ASMU. And the whole point here is we cast at the end of the AF, which is a first turn AF after setting Fire Zone. We used Codex, Biblia, as well as the shield move from Surge. And the reason for that is we want to not get stunned by that AoE right after the HP stop rate. That one has a high stun chance and can stun all your characters. And remember that Biblia does shield status 3 times. You also want to cast Surge's defensive move because I'm increasing the max HP of our team. And in conjunction with the barrier given by Biblia, we were able to survive the second attack, which is 3 random attacks. Keep in mind that it is RNG dependent, and it can hit the same unit 2 or 3 times, in which case you lose a unit, you won't be able to complete this battle. That being said, you need 7 hits within Fire Zone using fire attacks in order to power the bar to a half AF bar, and then I just activated another AF. So it's a little bit different. I know that the easier strategy, if you're able to manage the DPS, 1 turn AF, and then right after the HP stopper, you do 1 single hit, and it kills the boss if you can do something around 180 million or so. I think the boss has about between 360 and 400 million. So keep that in mind that you need to generate at least that much HP damage. Even to trigger the HP stopper will probably be 180 million or more. I recommend using Luna weapons because the speed really does make a difference. With first turn AS, because you only have a half bar to start, you really want to have as many hits and many rotations as possible. And the 2 Luna Lamina swords made a big difference in helping me defeat this boss. Crest is our Grasta holder. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.